Welcome back, everyone. We are excited today to have Steve Ochoa, Sheila and Morgan Chonis. They are the co-founders of GIFT. It is a nonprofit organization that we're going to discuss about a little bit. And so the first thing I'm going to ask Steve is, what is GIFT? What is the acronym for GIFT?
Well, Ray, the acronym is Giving and Inspiring from the Heart Together. And we sat around this wonderful team here. It happened January 26th.
Oh, that's my birthday.
It is? Well, Sandra.
Wow. Yeah, that's why they did it. They did it for your birthday.
In honor of your birthday. We didn't even know it, but, now we have two things to celebrate, which would be fantastic. But, Ray, all of us are native here in Tucson. I've been very blessed to come from one of the founding families, 6 generations here. And I really wanted to do all my life I've always tried to give back to the community. But it's so important that we take care of each other.
Yes.
And those who can't really take care of themselves. And that was the impetus for starting a nonprofit, realizing that we can all contribute irrespective of what it is. It has nothing to do with finance. It could be a smile. It could be a hug. It could be a kind word. And so I am very much indebted to Sheila and to Morgan for their expertise and their willing and commitment to make the community a better place to live.
Nice.
That sounds so great. Thank you so much, Steve. And Morgan, with that being said, I don't know how you're going to follow. That was so awesome.
I know, yeah.
But my question
Let's just have Steve talk the rest of the time. Come on.
Morgan, what's the mission?
Our mission is to create generational giving through amplifying other aligned organizations and creating endowments that will continue to give back to the community in perpetuity.
Wow. That's awesome. And then we have Sheila here also. And Sheila, you were talking about the AZPM story?
Yes. So as an example, we have a connection to Arizona Public Media. And I have a good friend who works there. And he posted on social media a story about a 10-year-old boy who came in and he had saved his allowance and he had $20 to donate. And for us, fundraising a nonprofit, it doesn't matter if it's $20 or $1 million, we celebrate them all.
Yes.
I was going to say, I think I saw this story. Wasn't it a quarter at a time?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
So he
impressive.
gets a $4 allowance. He saves $1 for nonprofit. He saves $1 for himself. And he saves $2 for his college fund.
Wow.
And so at 10 years old, we were so impressed with this young man. So it went viral on social media. So I hopped on and I said, well, how about if I match his $20? Well, then everybody else jumped on board too.
Oh my, that's awesome.
So I'll match it and I'll give $125. And then someone else gave $250.
Wow.
And so we came back and spoke about GIFT and we decided to give as an organization $500. So all of a sudden it's going around and we're amplifying, this little boy's mission and his heart. And so as of today, we're over $1,450 from his $20 gift. So that is what amplifying is. It's just a beautiful concept.
I like that. And it was so simply stated. And so you kind of understand when they mean by amplification, people don't realize that. It just means that everybody's giving on top of giving on top of giving. So one small gift means a lot to everyone else. If everyone's giving this one small gift and for one person's goal. You guys, I'm getting goosebumps. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm going to go back to Morgan and say, well, Morgan, how can people contribute?
Well, I also want to follow up on the amplification.
Yes, please
It's
do.
not just financial, it's also awareness. So we've got this beautiful platform of social media channels now.
Right.
So everything we're doing, every layer is also sharing. So AZPM, for example, just shared this story, and then we've shared it. Now all of these people shared it, and this mission has now gone viral.
Wow.
That's the perfect example of the awareness amplification that we're promoting. So it's twofold. So it's the financial and awareness of these organizations in our community.
Sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you. So
This is like taking matching funds to a whole new level.
A whole new level.
absolutely.
Excuse me. I like that because it's not matching funds. I like the word you use. You use the word amplifying. So even though there's synonyms, they're not, because what you're doing is just seems that you're putting a little extra on it. So I'm sorry, I just thought that was awesome.
A little extra sparkle on top.
Yes, yes.
So the way that people can get involved is giftarizona.org/support outlines all of the ways that you can join us. And we've made it very easy. So whatever your flavor is, you can participate. So one-time gifts, monthly gifts, we can do planned giving. We're helping organizations create matching with their companies. Team giving. So we've partnered with a real estate team, and they give a portion. Part of their ethos is a portion of their commission every quarter.
Wow.
And so their company now matches that. Gift now matches. We've created amplified giving 3 times over for the organizations that they support and that they choose every quarter. So that's just another example. And then we also have created, as I mentioned before, our legacy endowment. So people can also contribute to that. And as that continues to grow, that will be giving in perpetuity for forever.
Yeah. Well, Steve, I'll get be back on here. The question is, how is things progressing so far? You feel as though as starting such in January. I mean, this is only September.
Well, we've been extremely blessed, and we're extremely grateful for this wonderful community that we all have the privilege of serving. And it is amazing the number of things that we've learned just about giving, about nonprofit, about financing. It's been a great journey, Ray. And we've met some great people, including yourself and your beautiful Sandra.
Thank you so
much.
And,
we appreciate all the hard work you do in this community. And both of you give me a lot of inspiration as to why we're going to continue on, even at a greater level, relative to our opportunity to give back to this wonderful community.
This thing is so exciting to me. I'm trying to decide who to ask first on. Morgan, what made you do this?
Eeny, meeny, miny, Morgan.
All of them. I'm just so excited. Sorry about that.
So I grew up in a household of supporting local, supporting the little guys, right? And so my father owned a restaurant here in town for 37 plus years. Yes. And so that's how I was raised is, customer service and community are top core values always. And then my mother comes from a career in real estate and nonprofit.
Right.
So this is in my blood. And so for me, my background is in helping startups and also in large scale event management.
Yeah.
So to me, my heart is here, but also I can bring this unique plethora of tools that I have.
You go, girl. Plethora.
To support something that matters.
Yes.
And so for me, like I've done so many things where it's like, okay, this is really great, but what are we actually doing? Right. So this has substance. Right. This is important.
That's awesome. Every person sitting around this table right now, and there are a lot of us, every one of us is passionate about charity work and giving back to the community and lifting people up. I think that we have to include that too. And so we were just talking with Morgan, who happens to be related to Sheila, which is not a bad thing. I've known Sheila for probably over 15 years, and she has always been involved in helping people and being involved in the community. So what was it that got you excited about partnering with Steve Ochoa here, another fine member of our community? What got you interested in partnering and starting down this path?
Well, first of all, who wouldn't want to be involved with Mr. Ochoa?
Exactly.
He has a huge heart and a very giving heart, and we're happy to be aligned. So that was a definite yes when we were talking. But we were talking about how can we give back and how can we be organized. And we had several organizations asking us to be on their boards.
Oh.
And we realized that we can't spread ourselves so thin, to be on this board and that board when we have a mission to help so many people. And all of those.
I think you're talking directly to Ray's soul on that one. But
I know you guys are on several boards, and you guys are, you work hard.
And they're deserving places, and it's really hard to pick and choose. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
There are so many deserving organizations in this community.
But give them the answer to the problem, because it definitely seems like that's what you were able to encapsulate with your journey.
Yeah. So when we were thinking, how would we pick and choose? How would we, spend our time? And then we were, how about if we start our own nonprofit? And so, deer's in the headlight, the eyes, and it's just like, oh, well, how would we do that? And I have some experience with different nonprofits, and I took a little bit of knowledge from each place that I've worked, and we kind of brought it together and sat at the table at Tino's, and January 26th, we came up with gift, and it was actually 1:26 in the afternoon on January 26th, and it was just like 1:26. And now we'll celebrate Sandra's birthday.
Every year.
Every year.
Every year. You won't forget me.
Happy birthday, Gift and Sandra. 2 cakes.
I love it, but it's a great way for us to come together. We can do the work. We don't actually do the events. We don't organize them. We don't, it's up to the organization we partner with to do all of that. But we amplify, and we help them, with their social media and sharing and all of the good stuff, and then we can match some funds that they're raising. So just think of us as, the little
engine that could.
The little engine that could. Thank you. I just lost my train of thought. Perfect, Ray.
So you've had some events, and I have to mention that and thank you for participating and helping one of our previous guests, Jennifer Scott. We rented the Loft Theater and were able to do a private screening of a movie on suicide and depression. And you guys really were instrumental in helping us make that happen. But you've had some other events that you've amplified as well. So Morgan, do you want to speak to those?
Sure. I love the little engine that could. And this is a perfect example of amplification. Is not everybody has the staff, not everybody has the means, or not everybody has the capacity to be doing events and fundraising and all these things. They're focusing on their mission. And so if we can come in and we can offer a hand in one of those areas, that's what we can bring to the table. So one example is we partnered with a local food truck rally here in town.
Yeah.
And so what we did was they had an organization that they wanted to support called the Tucson Family Food Project. And so what we did was we helped them create an amplified event. And so we came together on National Food Truck Day back in June. They had all of their food trucks on site. Everybody donated a little bit of their proceeds. We brought in raffle prizes. We sold raffle tickets. And everybody participated. And then Gift came in, matched the funds. And everybody has a social media presence, and that's one of the beautiful things about food trucks is they're always on the move. So they're not a brick and mortar. They rely on social media. And so we created layer after layer after layer of amplified awareness for all of these organizations, in addition to Tucson Family Food Project, that this was all benefiting. And so that's one example of creating an amplified event. And then the feedback that we got from them when we handed them their check was like, this is the first fundraising event we've been able to do.
Wow.
We're such a small team, and it changed the trajectory of what they're able to do for the rest of the year.
It's interesting, just the way that you guys are structured. I have so much to learn about this organization because, like usual, one, Ray and Sandra bring powerhouses onto the show, but two, they just exposing me to amazing nonprofits. Like I run a nonprofit myself for homeless veterans, and it just seems like you guys are almost like a nonprofit that helps organizations that are, like you're saying, don't really have the capacity to market. Like you guys are like marketing expansion onto their own marketing, and kind of you connect them in a way that they're not going to get connected otherwise. So it's genius. I've never heard anything like it. And
thank you.
Yeah,
and
I
that's
wanna learn a lot
Tucson.
more.
Like that is the core, if we want to call it the ethos of Tucson, is it's like, this is not a competition. We want all of each other to win.
Yes.
So if we can come in and we can help you and every, whatever organization we're partnering with expand their capacity to grow, that's what matters to us.
And the need is just so abundant. Like whether it's nonprofits, which we have the most nonprofits per capita than any city in the United States, or just organizations in general that just, even mine, I mean, I'm a small nonprofit with maybe a staff of 3 or 4 at tops. Like to be connected with another organization that can kind of give me that boom that, I mean, either I don't know how or just don't have the connections to get. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. We're here right now with Steve Ochoa, Sheila and Morgan Chonas. They are the co-founders of Gifts. And I want to talk to Steve a little bit about the Dino Endowment.
Well, the Dino... the Dino Endowment is a very special endowment, and you know how they work is you take X amount of money, it's investing extremely well, and then you take the interest earned on the endowment base, and you distribute that for life.
Wow.
And so the great thing is we're honoring Sheila's husband, and we're also honoring Morgan's father through something that is extremely important, that his name will carry on for a lifetime here in Tucson. And I didn't know him, but I've heard so many wonderful stories about what a wonderful human being he is. And if we can just pass on the legacy, and it's through the endowment, then we're doing ourselves a big favor. Now, keep in mind that the money that we're going to contribute for the endowment is going to help grow that fund.
Right.
And so then we have the interest in terms of we're going to be able to fund other projects for gift and our alignment. So it's a wonderful opportunity for us to give back, share, and privileged to do it in the name of a wonderful human being, William Dino Jonas.
Okay, and now you can't say that and not have me jump in, because Sheila and Dino were owners of Tino's Pizza, and very well loved in this community.
Very well loved.
And I don't think there's anyone who wouldn't agree with that. And so what an awesome thing it is that you're doing, and I think the family deserves that.
Thank you.
Everybody in the house right now is just a little teary-eyed. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, let me think. Okay, going back to what we're talking about, what is the future now of gift? What is the next thing that you guys are going to do, or what are you planning for that we need to let people know about?
Well, it's twofold. It's that generational giving, and that's building and growing this endowment and the memorial fund, and that's creating our amplified events. So we're beginning our fundraising for this year and next year, so that we can. There's the two folds, is so that we can contribute to amplifying other organizations, and then we can grow this endowment that's giving in perpetuity forever.
Morgan, do you have the website off the top of your head? I want to hear it again. We'll try to say it again at the end of the show too. I want to keep hearing so people can.
Of course, I do. GiftArizona.org, and then specifically giftarizona.org/support. We'll go through all the ways that you can join us, and then if you're interested in partnering with an amplified event, you can go to giftarizona.org/inquiry, and you can submit a form for us about nominating an organization that you would like to see us partner with.
Nice.
Hey, Steve, you got any lasting words you'd like to add?
Well, first of all, we appreciate you very much, both you and Sandra, not only for having us on this wonderful show, but I really admire you for the way you've conducted your business.
Thank you, sir.
You're seen everywhere in Tucson. Every organization that I've had the pleasure of going sees you, Sandra, on the microphone, directing your great efforts and your great energy to wonderful people in the community. So on behalf of a grateful Tucson, Arizona community, I want to thank you and Sandra and our co-host, John over there, for all the things he's doing with his nonprofit. And we wish you nothing but great success, clear skies, and beautiful, smooth sailing.
Okay, and as we're closing out, I cannot miss my opportunity to mention that Morgan is also an author, and I can't say the full title, but it's Unraveling the BS. So please look her up. I think it was, I haven't read it yet, but I think that's going to have to be my next buy. We want to thank our sponsors, Horizon Inspections, Indy Realty, Inspired Life Mortgage, the Arizona Sands Club, Rego Pest Prevention, Atomic Nutrition, and Sweet Little Chefs. They're the ones that make this all possible. So thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you guys and the work you're doing in this community.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Gift is great.